What is this fucking love? What the fuck was that?
So James Emerton tried another apology video. 1 hour and 50 minutes. How long is the actual apology video?
God damn.
30 minutes?
Go to the tavern.
Damn. Oof. Oof.
Challenge? Yes, was just like.
Does this count as pedo baiting? Is this a big streamer? Am I gonna get in trouble for saying that? Or am I crazy?
Level 35. Oh, I can see the level. Oh, fuck.
I didn't do anything. I don't know why. I just don't deserve any of it, you know? I'm sorry. I'm really trying not to cry and like be very concise and speak on everything clearly. It's just very upsetting.
That's normal e-girl makeup? The super red nose and red cheeks? Am I the only one who, it's just like evocative of like children? Am I crazy on that or?
Because it really messed me up mentally. It really messed me up mentally. This person has a vendetta against me, against a lot of people, and I've never met them. I don't know them. If they known me, they'd understand I'm a lot nicer and understanding person than they think. Because like I said, I didn't go to the cops for a year, and I gave them a lot of chances to try to change and do different.
What the fuck are we even what even is this? Oh, and I got locked. Pink claims a married female spread rumors about her to other content creators and shared revenge porn of Pink to multiple other creators. This was filmed without Pink's knowledge, and she is pursuing legal action. What is the pinned comment
and then
on this video? Patreon.
Is that it? Talking about blah blah blah. Anything to help? I was saying at that book. Manuscript was very important to me. Let me look for it. Thank you. What a guy.
This.
This is a child play. The pages have been torn out, and I'm sure there are 15 total pages. Perhaps you can help me. Okay. Easy. Do I have pages already? Oh, I don't have any.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Mitch Jones claims Mizkif didn't want to publicly be friends with him until he started doing good with hardcore WoW streaming.
Stealing failed. Thief.
Back.
No one notice.
I was shocked to see that video. Dude, Mizkif, for an entire year, he wanted us to be publicly.
Oh my god.
He thought it was good for the narrative of his image. So behind the scenes, we
You
called
know,
him every day.
unacceptable.
We talked
Oh,
about it.
fuck me.
And publicly, we were hating each other, but behind the scenes, we were all good. He would come over, we'd hang out. It was the
Oh,
weirdest fucking shit
God.
to me. And he would tell me through the whole year that
Fuck.
we're gonna be on stream again one day, and everything's gonna be fine. And then when I blew up with hardcore, that's when he came to me and was like, "Yo, Mitch, let's rebuild our friendship on stream now." It was like when I was down bad. He didn't want to fucking help me, but
He
when I
was
started
down
doing shit
bad.
and he saw that he could gain something from me, he was like, "Oh, now's the time, bro." That's what happened.
I don't even know if I would believe this without seeing the DMs, because I feel like Mitch mistold that Hassan story so much that I don't know if I would believe it without seeing actual screenshots. Because remember when Mitch claimed that Hassan was begging him to do content and shit, and then Hassan showed the DMs and it was actually Mitch that was begging to do content?
I'll take your
Destiny, he
request.
called you out today. He said you were being told not to speak with him. Yeah, that's fucking retarded. He texted me a ton asking him to do an exclusive interview for a shit. I just don't care. I don't care that much. He keeps texting me and dimming me. I just don't care. What did he? This was yesterday. Hey, I'm willing to be interviewed live about everything and speak about the full truth. Do you want to do the interview? I would promote it for my Twitter and it would be done on Kick. I have direct answers to every question and everything. If you're interested in being the one to do the interview, please let me know by the end of the day. I just don't care. I don't care that much. It just sounds... this is also boring and dumb, and it's I've seen the way that Mitch talks and everything, and it's I would kill myself trying to have an hour-long conversation over this. It sounds so fucking boring. Do it for content.
Oh. 90.
Last time you reviewed Mizkif-related drama, you got over 40k viewers. Stop pussying out. It's not being a pussy, you fucking retard. Mizkif drama was secret recorded phone calls involving Mizkif Train and 4 other streamers. That was super interesting. This is gonna be 4 hours of me talking to Mitch, being why'd you say this, Mitch? And him giving random stupid answers, or having incomplete DMs or screenshots or 10-second video clips over and over and over and over again. I'll talk to him if you want, but it's gonna be so fucking boring. I already know it's gonna be so fucking boring. Oh.
Just barely.
Destiny should debate the soy leftists on Israel-Palestine.
Yeah, you could.
It's crazy to me that people will take a clip of me from 8 years ago when I admittedly had very little understanding of this conflict and they'll be like, oh, I agreed with this guy more. Don't you think that like says something about your position if you agree with the uneducated person more than the one that's like done months of reading? Like, isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, you could.
I haven't actually watched this again yet, too. I don't even know what I was saying here.
People saying civilian deaths are okay if we're killing a
What
large
about if we talk about America supporting Israel that bombs hospitals and bombs schools, dog? It doesn't matter if it's suicide.
You know they bomb hospitals and schools because terrorist organizations in Palestine put their freaking weapons there. No one.
Do you think
everyone
Palestinian
knows that.
sick people and children care about that? Do you think that a Palestinian
People
child
are
with a
getting
family of a
bombed
Palestinian
Yeah.
Israel care about that.
But dude, they don't. Bombs don't make it. Those shitty fucking RPGs don't even make it over the walls because Israel is one of the most sophisticated anti-missile dome systems in the world.
It's
You're really
true.
comparing the military power of these two states? Come on, dude.
No. Okay, I'm not. I'm saying the reason they're not just sitting there bombing hospitals and schools. You can't honestly believe they're just sitting there like, you know what? Let's fucking bomb a hospital.
Israel
today.
has literally been on
I am
record
not-
manufacturing reasons in the past to march into the West Bank and fucking exterminate people, dog. What do you?
That's not true. There is a rumor, or it's partially true. I think for 2014? Was it Protective Edge where there were 3 kids that they said were kidnapped? And I think Israel knew they were dead, but they still went anyway. That was what I was referencing there, that event. So they didn't. What I say was manufactured a little strong, but
Okay, listen up. I am not a huge. I barely talk about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I am not one to run around and be like, oh, I love Israel, but I certainly am not also.
oh shit, that's where the meme comes from.
I love Israel, but I certainly am not also going to sit around here and pretend that they are bombing hospitals and schools for shits and giggles. At least admit that you have terrorist organizations that specifically set up their weapons places.
The suicide.
Hospital. You know they bomb hospitals.
Last time you reviewed Miskiff-related drama, you got over 40k viewers. Stop pussing out. It's not being a pussy, you fucking retard. Miskiff drama was secret recorded phone calls involving
go.
like Miskiff
14.
Train
Oh
and
my
like 4
God,
other
come
streamers.
on,
That was
really?
super interesting. This is gonna be like 4 hours of me talking to Mitch, being like, "Why'd you say this?" Mitch, and him giving like random stupid answers, or having like incomplete DMs or screenshots, or 10-second video clips over and over and over and over again. I'll talk to you for a
Really?
while, but it's gonna be so fucking boring. I already know it's gonna be so fucking boring. Oh.
Try that again.
Destiny should debate the
Hey.
soy leftist on Israel-Palestine.
Yeah, you could.
It's crazy to me that people will take a clip of me from like 8 years ago when I admittedly had very little understanding of this conflict, and they'll be like, oh, I agreed with this guy more. Don't you think that like says something about your position if you agree with the uneducated person more than the one that's like done
Give 'em all money
months
back.
of reading? Like, isn't that kind of weird? I haven't actually watched this again yet, too. I don't even know what I was saying here.
People saying civilian deaths are okay if we're
Challenge level 65. Oh.
Supporting Israel that bombs hospitals and bombs schools, dog. It doesn't matter if it's suicide.
You know they bomb hospitals and schools because terrorist organizations in Palestine put their freaking weapons there. No one.
Do you think
everyone knows
Palestinian
that.
sick people and children care about that? Do you think that a Palestinian
People
child
are
with a
getting
family of a
bombed every
Palestinian
day in
child?
Israel care about that.
But dude, they don't. Bombs don't make the little shitty fucking RPGs don't even make it over the
answering
walls
your
because Israel is one of the most
Cliff
sophisticated
raises his
anti-missile
hand.
dome systems in the fucking
Flex.
world.
It's
You're
true.
really comparing
Is
the
this some
military
kind
power
of
of these two
test?
states? Come on, dude.
I've no intention
Okay, I'm
of
not.
working
I'm
with
saying
disingenuous.
the reason they're not just sitting there
You're on
bombing
the money.
hospitals and schools. You
Oh,
can't
if you want to
honestly believe
repay
that they're sitting
since
there like, you know what? Let's
5,000 gold is
fucking
the
bomb
price
a
of one
hospital.
Israel
question,
has literally been
then-
on record
I am not-
manufacturing
Oh, you a
reasons in the
special
past to march into
deal.
the West Bank and
10,000
fucking
gold
exterminate
for
people,
3
dog. What do you
questions.
That's
Questions.
not
An
true.
absolute
There was a
steal.
rumor, or it's partially true. I think for 20,
To take your first step in the other.
was it
Don't go, my
2014?
friend.
Was it Protective Edge where there were 3
Despite
kids
the
that they said were
vastness of
kidnapped,
that. Exactly
and
as you
I think
say.
Israel knew they were dead,
5,000.
but they still went anyway. That was what I was referencing there, that event. So they didn't. What I say was manufactured a little strong, but
Okay, listen up. I
Hey.
am not a huge. I barely talk about the Palestine conflict. I am not one to run around
It's a
and be like,
pleasure to serve.
oh, I love Israel, but I certainly am
Another
not also.
oh shit, that's where the meme comes from.
One of the three
I love
Damn it,
Israel, I love
miss.
Israel, but I certainly am not also going to sit around here and pretend that they are bombing hospitals and schools for shits and giggles. At least admit that you have terrorist organizations that specifically set up their weapons places and their attack places in hospitals and schools simply to get Western media's attention. At least admit that. Okay, there you go. Thanks. So you're
That doesn't mean I'm okay with bombing hospitals and fucking schools, though. Damn.
bear a certain
Whoa.
resemblance to a particular
Good one.
population. Perceptive indeed, my friend.
The reality is,
As you can
sometimes you gotta bomb hospitals and schools.
schools.
That's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Boy you're searching for. I just about 10 or so days ago, a boy of about 7. Was he called Wudar? Can't
And littering and littering and.
What even is the reference? I don't understand it all.
Littering and.
Have you not seen Ratatouille? I have. I just don't understand the dies part. I saw this. Why are the comments so unhinged?
Horn warming.
Nobody's watching me.
I do not. I don't know the language of this subreddit at all. I don't know who the fuck this is. Is this Dream with facial hair? I don't know what the fuck are these lyrics. This might be one of the best comments I've seen in 5 years of being on this app. I have no fucking idea. Five new slurs per song created. Why did Lil Dicky rap battle his wife into voicing him? Based. My guess is there's probably a little bit more crossover with red pill communities with hip hop circle jerk, or just because some of like the pressure fit audience is like skews a lot more black than other communities. Maybe there's some overlap there. I also know there was like a World Star video that went, I don't know if I would say viral, but like that was pretty popular. With me saying the fucking N-word, like, oh, I would never say that, and the comments for that were unhinged. That'd be like my guess for two overlaps, but I have no idea. I see Fantano in the background. Maybe it's leftists. I don't know how much leftists are on hip hop. I have no clue. But they might be making fun of Fantano here. I have no idea about this.
Definitely making fun of him. Okay. Oh, book.
All the circle jerks I've read got
Ocean
invaded by the
Seeker.
Blacks. Oh, did they?
Wisdom.
I don't know.
14. Definitely one. Is this a midget? Halfling?
Financial report. Shit, this is a pretty profitable operation. 10,000 a month? Okay. No. I'm sorry, I read that totally wrong. I thought that was 10,000 in a single month after they changed. It's about 1,000 a month profit, I think.
Can we get all the pages already?
This is just their aggregate on the bottom. Conservative TikToker destroys destiny with facts and logic. For being anti-Islam.
Destiny's joke borders pretty hard on Islamophobia. I am Islamophobic, and I hate Islam. I'm an atheist, yes.
There's a very particular subgenre of edgelord liberalism that Destiny falls very neatly into, I believe. It's very Reddit, very 2014 Reddit. And that is not a slur, those were Reddit's best years. But I don't like it in the modern era. I don't like edgelord liberalism anymore because it ultimately latches on to nothing. It is a lot of fire and provocation and fury that ultimately signifies nothing, a nothing burger of ideology, because there is no policy position behind it. For liberals like Destiny, performative Islamophobia is merely a release mechanism to cope with cognitive dissonance. Destiny has said on many occasions that Islam is antithetical to the liberal values he himself holds.
Wait, is this guy a leftist or is this guy a Nazi? This guy sounds like a Nazi. Hold on. Antithetical to the values that Destiny holds. He's gonna say, because he said I don't want to, he's gonna say it's because I don't want to deport them all. He's a far right person. He's a conservative. Yeah, because the thing said conservative TikToker. He's gonna say because I don't want to deport them all.
But if you ask him or demand that that negative sentiment should translate over to, let's say, immigration policy, not only does he disagree with you, not only does he think contrary.
Because the Islamophobia is all performative, because I'm just saying that as an outlet for my liberal rage, even though I can't actually do anything about it with my woke liberal policies, because I'm too busy on my knees sucking off Ahmed while also tweeting about how much I hate Islam, but I'm too weak to overrule the Jewish masterminds telling me to do all this.
He actually believes, or he used to, that you should be, as a point of principle, destroyed. Because you're a hecking dog whistler!
Wait, my ideology is leading to the ascendancy of a competing ideology that's going to destroy me? How do I confront that contradiction? I know, I'll just farm outrage on Twitter by saying I hate that ideology, while at the same time forwarding its structural ascension. I'll still say it's heckin' bad, and that's all that counts.
So get into difficulty, anything. The Crimson...
Good one.
Pro is at your service.
Also tried profiting from their LGBT fans by creating Gay Night.
Is this the guy who might be
a
dead?
one-night-a-year event at the parks where LGBT folk would be the main guests. It was a big hit. Initially, the revenue was all to be donated to the Aid for AIDS Foundation.
Guy who pushes you to link pro-Palestine as Islamism literally lied, saying Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt came to power and supported Hamas. In reality, it made peace deal between Israel and Hamas and said it will respect all deals. Okay.
But by 1995, donations to the charity had dried up. Disney was keeping all of the profits for themselves.
He's misremembering a really well-known event. Gay Night was not set up by Disney, they didn't sanction it. A travel agency rented the park out for the night, and they kept the money they were supposed to have donated. This is a bit sloppy, but then he claims the more progressive CEO Bob Iger expanded Gay Nights into full Gay Day events.
Under his stewardship, Disney...
He also said to you that hatred for Jews triumphs over sectarian differences for Muslims. Please ask him then, why did Iran stop its funding of Hamas after Hamas took a stand against Assad regime in Syria? Thank you, Mir Jalal. Thank you, my Mossad handler. I will repeat these lines 3 times later on.
He switched from the once-a-year gay night at Disney parks to the full Gay Days event, rebranding the occasion into a more family-friendly affair.
Now, obviously, Iger couldn't rebrand something Disney wasn't doing and had no control over. Gay Days is actually a completely separate event, which is also unofficial and unsanctioned by Disney. Also, it started before Gay Night and 15 years before Iger became CEO. It's kind of impressive how wrong this was. He's giving fucking Disney credit for the actions of independent queer people. It really downplays the work that people put into organizing stuff like Gay Days. It's super disappointing, honestly. The first official Disney Pride Night happened this year, 3 years after he made this video. That's how far off the mark he was on this. Whenever I saw another Summerton video in the wild, I give it another shot and quickly have to give up again. In his Yuri on Ice video, he claimed the show never went into explicitly gay territory because it aired early in the evening on Japanese television, and there's a law on the books preventing showing homosexuality that early.
Japan has certain laws, such as what time of night a queer-centric show can actually be aired on TV. This show was slated for an earlier time slot in the night because it's first and foremost a sports anime. In order for the quiet part to be as loud as the creator wanted, it would have to have had a much later time slot in the network.
Thanks, Illuminator, for the 5 subs.
Wanted.
This is a common myth made up by Western fans of the show to explain why it wasn't gayer. They wanted to, but it was illegal. How convenient. But that law doesn't work that way, and even if it did, Yuri on Ice aired at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, the gay witching hour. They could do whatever they wanted. But now I see people continuing to spread this lie, linking Summerton's video as proof it's true. James is helping to reinforce misinformation by not checking whatever he hears on Twitter before he spreads it, which is a bit concerning. Basically, I can't really watch James's videos because I care a lot about the stuff he talks about, and I can tell he's not really checked what he's saying, and that really gets to me. Normally in this situation, I would just not watch his videos and live my life, but over the last couple of years, Summerton has been repeatedly accused of plagiarism. In response, Summerton has claimed he never ripped off anyone, and the times he did weren't even that bad anyway.
If I had been plagiarizing videos, I wouldn't have a channel. I would be called out all the time by people saying he stole my shit, but I don't plagiarize. The one time that there actually was plagiarism, it was by mistake, and I fixed it immediately, and it is no longer in my video. And the other 2 accusations, one was silly.
That's an interesting way of saying you didn't do it.
When 3 or 4 separate videos have 3 or 4 separate plagiarism controversies have had. There's not 3 or 4.
Summerton is telling the truth here. There are not 3 or 4 accusations. Whenever these allegations are brought up, however, a fan of his will normally pop up to accuse them of harassing a gay man and claim this is all part of a deliberate homophobic campaign against a queer creator. And as an open bisexual who knows what the internet is like, I'm vigilant to the possibility the phobes are making a fuss about nothing again to take down a fellow gay boy. It does happen, so keeping this possibility in mind, I looked at what he'd been accused of for myself, weighed up all the evidence as objectively as I could, and it quickly became clear he did do it. He's a massive plagiarist. In fact, there's a bunch of stuff no one else has found yet. He's just convinced his audience to attack people when they notice. And the worst part is, they do it in the name of defending a gay creator, when many of the people he has financially benefited from stealing from are queer themselves. I've never seen anyone try to put together a full explanation of what exactly happened here, because his fans will threaten you into silence for trying, which means there is no solid body of evidence to point to, so James can freely lie about what happened without anyone to contradict him. I'd like to take the opportunity to go through what happened here, so people can see what happened without it being filtered through James and make up their own minds. So, let's clear all this up once and for all, shall we? In July 20...
Copying a book word for word. Am I watching? We'll watch a little, if you be honest.
2020, Summerton uploaded Evil Queens, a queer look at Disney history, a 1-hour and 8-minute video about Disney's relationship with the queer community. This original upload of the video has since been deleted for reasons which will become clear. As the video reached its audience, some viewers began noticing similarities between the video and the book Tinkerbells and Evil Queens by Sean P. Griffin. James opens with a present-day example of Disney being bad about gay content on their platforms, and then says we need to explore Disney's history of doing this. The next 45 minutes are almost word for word taken from Griffin's book.
Fantasy is often described as a method of escape from the trials and tribulations of everyday reality. Living in a society that has outlawed homosexual desire, categorized it as a medical Shmi, is constantly at Hook's side, and although Hook is the maniacal master of the relationship, Shmi is obviously his prospects brighten though when he overhears of a young man cub who is wandering alone in the jungle. He whispers to himself,
"Oh no,"
and vows to arrange a rendezvous with the boy.
Most of this video is just James reading a book into the camera.
In the number, Ursula uses various methods to convince Ariel to sell her soul, from looking sorry and saint-like to shimmying madly in excitement.
Throughout this video, James uses parts of the book where Griffin quotes someone else. Like here, this is from an essay by Cynthia Erb. James just keeps reading and doesn't tell you he's quoting anyone, and even changes it slightly, almost like he knows it's wrong and is trying to get away with it.
In its use of vocalist Pat Carroll's ability to slide up and down the musical register, from shrieks to baritones, Poor Unfortunate Souls is an unmistakable send-up of the campy female impersonation numbers of underground queer films in the early days of Hollywood.
When he rips off Griffin quoting more well-known writers like Susan Sontag, he reads them out and puts the quote on screen. It looks like when he thinks he can get away with it, he passes obscure writers' words off as his own. He's already stealing from Griffin, why stop there? Summerton reuses a section of the book where Griffin quotes gay journalist and activist Jack Babuccio, who passed away of AIDS in 1990. Griffin...
Hold on, there's like 2 really funny things happening here, okay? The first funny thing happening is legitimately, at least for me, in grade school, this wasn't really this case in high school, but I feel like in grade school, we learned really bad what it meant to plagiarize things. Like in grade school, what we meant was plagiarizing is when you copy what the author said word for word. You need to take what the author says and then put it in your own words, and that's not plagiarism. So that's actually not true. That is still plagiarism. You can't just take an author's words, put it in your own words, and then publish it. That's still plagiarism, even if it is in your own words. You have to like make a wholly new work out of something.
What the fuck?
We have high standards at St Gilbert's. You guys must be the scholarships.
Is it your first time boarding? If you...
Hello everyone, this is Gorax. If you wonder if blessed summons are worth it, in this video, I'll walk you through it and decide which heroes are the best to pick, and also explain what this box includes. So let's dive in.
They could be changed for 9 days or something.
Let's summon once. This is what happens after the Celestial Alternative summons are finished, and it is basically a better way of summoning. They actually do really good changes here, which help us as players, because when we do 25 summons, we can have an epic option box, which is different than the selection box, and this box only contains heroes available in this pool. Every blessed salmon pool will have different heroes, but these are the ones you can choose from this Epic's option box. And here I believe one of the best choices are the utility based heroes that we want instead of one. The mechanics are pretty enemies, which is really when an ally had a deep.
It's probably just every fucking 9 days, or not 9 days. Okay, whatever.
And you're still probably going to cite the underlying research even when you do, right? That's like one thing that's kind of funny, that people don't actually learn, at least in grade school. I don't remember learning plagiarism. I don't know if in high school or college what they teach it, so far as this goes. But the second thing is, in my opinion, I feel like you would actually just look better and more authoritative if you just cited, like, the author. Like, imagine I'm saying, like, in 1997, the United States was seen as a land for the free and the home of all the new gays that moved to America, and blah, blah, blah. And let's say I plagiarize that quote from, like, 4 different people. Why not say, like, you know, like, the poet this said blah, 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 and blah, 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 said blah, blah, blah. I feel like you're citing authors. Doesn't that make you sound more authoritative and cool anyway? Like, why not just, like, cite the people you're quoting? Especially if it's an obscure author. Blah, 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 and their book said, and the gays. And then boom, you're like, oh, cool, wow, this guy's read this obscure author, and he's even quoting him. Holy shit, he's so smart. Maybe, am I crazy on that? I feel like it would, in my brain, when I hear people usually cite to names or references, I think, like, oh, I guess this guy's, like, read a lot of shit. That's what comes to mind in my book, but, or in my brain.
Explains who he is and discusses his quote, mentioning by name repeatedly. You know, the way you quote
Unless it's literally the entire fucking video. That's true.
On and discuss what they said. Summerton removes all mention and discussion of Babushio, but he still steals everything he says.
And amping up that depiction to an 11. Camp, by focusing on the outward appearance of a role, implies that roles, and in particular gender roles, are superficial. A matter of style.
He then skips a few paragraphs, since the book discusses what Babushio meant by this, and that would give away James didn't write it. I didn't even think it was possible, but somehow James managed to steal 2 queer authors' words at once. He copied a book word for word, and even removed mention of the people being quoted, so it sounded like he was saying their words too. That's not something you do by mistake. That's something you do when you want to take the credit, which he does. In future videos, James talked about Evil Queens as if it was all his ideas.
But other movies require a bit more digging. In Evil Queens, I talked about the weirdness of the 90s Renaissance Disney movies, especially Aladdin and The Lion King. When I first mentioned this to people, they thought I was crazy. Then I explained it to them, and they came around to seeing it my way.
And everyone clapped. James claims this video is his work and a weird, bold new approach to media, when it's word for word from a 20-year-old book. It's ridiculous. He appears to have found and replaced words like gay and homosexual to queer or LGBT.
Another narrative strand in Disney's films that would have a great appeal to the queer community is the tale of the outside. Labeled it as a sin against God and allowed and often encouraged violent acts against LGBT people, queer culture has unsurprisingly embraced queer culture, particularly gay male culture, has long held a fascination with fantasy. The close association of gay men to the world of fantasy has attributed to some of the most common insults for gay men in Western culture.
Summerton never mentioned the book or its author anywhere. There was nothing in the credits, the description, no citations, no mention of his name, nothing. When YouTubers use a book as a major source of research, usually they mention it or put it in the background on their set. He did film himself next to a book, but it's not Tinkerbell's, it's Disney War, a commonly cited source in videos covering Disney stuff. He's trying to look like he did research without giving away where he got all the words he's saying. Eventually, a Twitter user who noticed the similarity
trying to have it both ways.
Started comparing the works closely and wrote a thread showcasing hundreds and hundreds of words worth of examples of the video directly copying Griffin's book. She eventually asked him why he didn't credit it, and he responded that he hadn't started crediting source materials yet when he made the video. He then finally added a reference to the book to the description almost 2 months after it had been uploaded. He'd gone with the internet historian method, put an acknowledgement of your theft in the description later and pretend that makes stealing okay. The thread's author thanked him for admitting it, but pointed out adding a line of text near the bottom of the description is deceptive, considering the sheer amount of writing he copied. It looked like he was trying to get away with it by hiding some text somewhere no one would see. In response, he did the professional adult thing and blocked her and started tweeting vaguely about being wrongly accused of plagiarism, even though he always credits authors in the video description, which is a very funny thing to say when he didn't do that until the person he's currently complaining about pointed out he didn't. In just over a day, James went from saying, "Whoops, I'll put his name in the description, learning as I go, smiley face," to "I always credit authors in video descriptions, fuck off with your accusation." accusations. He also made a YouTube community post with the same text as the tweets. However, this turned out to be a Streisand'ian bargain because people started asking what he was being criticized for. Here's where it gets really interesting. James responded to one of them with a new example. Something like this had already happened before. James had made a video called Unrequited: The History of Queerbaiting, and this video had also been accused of stealing from a documentary called The Celluloid Closet. So this wasn't even the first time he'd been caught doing something like this. The author of the thread noticed this comment and looked at the description of the Unrequited video, and there was a note hidden towards the bottom thanking The Celluloid Closet in a familiarly vague way. Somerton had been caught stealing something before, and he tried to get away with it the same way by hiding something in the description. The comment section was full of people saying thanking the documentary in the description wasn't good enough since he copied a shit ton of it. She then tweeted she was considering comparing The Celluloid Closet and Unrequited side by side like she'd done with Evil Queens. It looks like James saw this tweet and realized someone was about to prove he'd done plagiarism in multiple videos, because suddenly he set both Unrequited and Evil Queens to private so no one could watch them, and made a post announcing this. The thread's author mentioned this happened and included these screenshots of the announcement. Let's put this on a timeline. This tweet came almost exactly 12 hours after saying she was thinking of checking the other video. In her screenshot, the announcement was only 11 hours old. James hid Unrequited within an hour of someone saying they were thinking of checking it for plagiarism. That's not suspect at all. In his post, he explained he was the victim of a targeted harassment campaign, had received death threats, and he hid these videos because he didn't want people who want him dead seeing them. In the comments section, he also claimed the thread's author had been harassing and attacking him for the last 48 hours on Twitter, and her followers had been hunting down his home and work addresses. Any harassment or threats Somerton may have received are unconscionable and wrong. I want to clarify right now that if anyone harasses Somerton on my behalf, they are worse than him and will not see the light of heaven. I must...
Oh, that's good. Well, he covered his own tracks here at least.
Underscore, however, the original author was not unnecessarily rude in her criticisms, was straightforward and polite when speaking to James directly, and when he talked about harassment, she was very clear where she stood on that as well. Somerton accused her of personally stalking him anyway, and starting a harassment campaign against him, threatening his life and trying to track down his address with her obscure thread of tweets. The author's account was very small at the time, with less than 150 followers, and barely anyone had seen the thread until Somerton accused it of trying to kill him. Instead of addressing...
Hold on. Mitch video. Oh, wow, 22-second vague audio clip. Okay. All right, done with this. Don't care anymore. So that guy might have killed himself today, by the way. Maybe.
Okay.
But we don't know 100%. What is this? 10 questions pro-Palestinians can't answer. You're right. This is the guy that debunked Bonerbox, by the way. You looked like Finkel when you were nice. You look. Oh, gotcha. Nice.
Is all that you believe truly right?
Wait, do we know if that one guy's actually dead or not? Somerton. Wait, no, that's not the guy's name. Fuck, what's the... Oh, no, it is.
Come on, let's get some drinks.
Apparently on one of his social media accounts it posted... If this message is live, it means I scheduled it before ending things. I have video scheduled to go out over the next couple of days, nothing new. I just wanted Nick's portfolio of work to be available. I've left directions that any money from those videos be donated to the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention. They've tried very hard to pull me back, but there's simply no life for me anymore. I've lost everything, my only friend, my livelihood, my name. It's all my own fault. The world will be a little bit better off now. Goodbye. Damn. And that's all we have right now.
The backbone of any adventure. Do alternative work.
Did this guy actually kill himself? Supposedly that's what people are thinking, but there's no proof yet on anything. Why is this guy so obsessed with me? Someone should let Steven know that if he wanted to play the Molina's insane and emotional manipulative card, he probably shouldn't have publicly talked about how just being in a relationship with him entails enduring serious emotional abuse. Why is he live tweeting my fucking stream? This guy is like unwell. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Your body is the backbone of any
answer? Why do you care? Here are 10 questions pro-Palestinians can't answer.
Okay.
Why do you care? So my first question is one that I've asked in the past.
Wait. Wait. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Follow me. Okay. Follow me. Follow me here. Hold on. Follow me.
Is all that you believe truly right?
What's the time? You folks carry on. I'm going back to camp for a break.
With different lighting. Somebody has to see at least a little bit of it, right? A little bit. There's something here. I can feel it. You guys are trolling right now. You guys are trolling.
But still never got an answer to. Why do you care so much about the Palestinians? There are so many demonstrations in support of Gaza. Hundreds of thousands of pro-Palestinians are marching through the streets of major cities, yet nobody is marching for the people of Yemen and Syria, not the Arabs and not the students in Western universities. And I'm asking you why. There are 800,000 dead in Syria and Yemen.
Mr. Barnell, you're $10 Canadian to bring attention to your noisy mic. You're hearing, it's my AC in the background, not a, yeah, get fucked. I mean, I think, why do you care as a pro-Palestinian? I mean, probably because this is the thing that the media talks about the most. This is like a conflict that Western nations probably have the most control over. Like, what are we going to do in Syria, but we can do something arguably with Israel-Palestine, right?
And you are silent, and there are 20,000 dead in Gaza, half of them terrorists, and you are outraged. Now, you have two possible answers to this question. Neither is great, but as I said, you don't have any other good options. The first answer is that you expect more from Israel than you expect from the Arabs. Now, if you expect more from Israel, that means you expect less from the Arabs, and that makes you a racist. I'm not sure you want to be put in that box.
Well, you could also expect more from Israel because they've got greater military might, they've got a democratic regime, and they've got more international legitimacy and support, so we would have higher expectations for them to act, and they have their own country, right?
Another option is that you are a hypocrite. It is cool to be pro-Palestinian, so although you know that far greater atrocities are happening not far from here, you choose to ignore them. By the way, you don't have to limit yourself. You can be both a hypocrite and a racist. If you have a better answer, please share it with me. I want to understand why you are out.
And I think a lot of people cared about the Saudi-led coalition against Yemen. I don't feel like Yemen's their best example. Syria's a better example. People did care about Yemen. No, don't make fun of Destiny's beard loss. That's ableist. Eat it. Destiny or the Omni Lover for President Sunday. Why aren't these in order of date? How many times has he tweeted about me, like, in the past 24 hours? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, like, this goes back to December, this goes to February?
Youngsters, why do I have to be out here?
What the fuck? Sort by latest.
Leave it to me.
Latest. 22 hours ago, March 1st. March 1st, March 1st, March 1st, February 29th, February 23rd, February 26th, February 26th, February 23rd, February 23rd, February 23rd, February 23rd, February 22nd, February 22nd, February 21st, February 21st. Why? Wait, why the fuck is he?
Can't take any more.
Blessings. Allow me to.
Jesus.
Be my
He tweets about you a lot without name in the tweet, and it's not picking those up, so there's even more.
Can't take any more.
Okay.
Outrage when talking about Israel, but Syria and Yemen and Sudan, oh, it's a humanitarian crisis. What can we do? let's move on to the next question. The oppressed people of the Middle East. Let's say you woke up this morning in Berlin, Madrid, or Wisconsin, and you thought to yourself, I want to support oppressed people in the Middle East. Well, I'm with you. I think it is noble that people genuinely want to help people they don't know on the other side of the world. And there are so many minorities that are suffering oppression in Muslim countries. There are the Coptics in Egypt, and there are Christians in Lebanon and Iraq, whose numbers are decreasing at a genocidal rate. There are the Balak people and the Zarathustra.
For this background, does this mean he like lives in a settlement, or are there like parts of Israel proper that look like this? I can't tell. I'm too prejudiced.
In Iran, who no one cares about, but the first group that should spring to mind when talking about oppressed Muslims in the Middle East is, of course, the Kurds. Unlike the Palestinians, the Kurds have a very long history as a nation. Unlike the Palestinians, who have never missed an opportunity to establish.
Looks like a park. I don't know. You've got the depressed leaning tree. That's a settlement tree right there. You've got the uneven distribution of grass in the yard. That's settlement grass. You've got the shoddy fence here to keep out brown terrorists. That's settlement security. You've got a bulldozer in the background for Palestinian homes. He's like standing in front of it.
Muslims in the Middle East is, of course, the Kurds. Unlike the Palestinians, the Kurds have a very long history as a nation. Unlike the Palestinians, who have never missed an opportunity to establish peace and an independent state, the Kurds did all they could to establish their own state, but were ultimately betrayed by the colonial powers. The Kurds have suffered immensely in Muslim countries like Iran, Iraq, and Turkey, and no one cares about them. Where are all the freedom fighters when it comes to the Kurds? Let me give you a crazy example of just how little the world cares.
He's saying Kurds, not he means Kurds. He's saying Kurds.
About them. Have you heard about the Halabja massacre? The Iraqis attacked Halabja with chemical weapons. It was the worst chemical weapon attack on civilians ever. 5,000 Kurds died. Many are still suffering from the consequences of the attack, which took place in 1988. I guess that most of you have never heard about it, seeing as nobody ever bothers to mention it. Let's have a look at Google. There are about 50,000 results for the Halabja chemical attack. How many results do you think that the Battle of Deir Yassin will have? This was a tiny battle that took place 75 years ago in 1948, when Israel conquered the village of Deir Yassin and around 50 to 100 Arabs died.
Everybody refers to this as the Deir Yassin massacre. It's cute. He goes to the Battle of Deir Yassin. Okay.
400,000 results. How can you make sense of the fact that a tiny 75-year-old battle gets about 10 times more information published about it than the worst chemical attack on civilians ever? My answer is that if Muslims die and you can blame Israel, then it just isn't that interesting. Nobody cares, not even the Muslims. Do you have a better answer? Stolen land? Now that we have established that, in my opinion, pro-Palestinians don't really care about the real atrocities in the Middle East or about the oppressed people who are fighting for freedom, let's dive right into and talk about the Palestinians specifically. I often get comments about the Jews stealing land from the Palestinians. If it is true that the Jews stole land, then give me the name of one Jewish settlement that was built on Arab land before November 1947, when the Arabs rejected the partition plan, rejected peace and the establishment of an independent state, and started a war to wipe out the Jews. Give me some names. You will not find a single case of Jews stealing land from Arabs. When the Arabs started a war, yes, they lost some land. That's what happens when you start a war. By the way, I can give you the names of many places that Arabs stole from the Jews before war broke out in 1948. There was a Jewish community living in Gaza until 1929, when the local Arabs back then.
Trying to find this.
Downcast Goblin.
Fuck, what was that quote from? Was it from Dayan? Or was it Ben Gurion? What's the quote of like, these new Jewish towns are built on, and then he gives the names of like the old Arab towns before. Does anybody know which quote I'm talking about? I need to find the context of that quote. But that might have been for a post 48. That might not have been pre 48. I'm not gonna be able to find it.
Easy, alright, level 9. Damn, this motherfucker's making me tired. Overpacked. Thoughts?
Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find this fucking quote. Fuck me.
Get your stuff.
Someone will find it later. Oh, maybe Axel has it. Thanks, Dylan, for the 70 Zars, whatever the fuck that means. This to USD. 369. Never mind. Fuck you, Dylan. Just kidding. I love you, babe. Oh, is this quote? Jewish villages were built in the place of Arab villages. You do not even know the names of these Arab villages, and I do not blame you because geography books no longer exist. Not only do the books not exist, the Arab villages are not here either. There is not one single place built in this country that have a former Arab population. I thought that, isn't there a longer quote where he even, like, named some of the old cities? This was from Diane. Oh, this is during the 67 war.
It's the Goblin Lair.
I guess you just bought that land and technically steal it. Yeah, I mean, pre-48 is complicated.
Exceed 30 accuracy.
Thanks, Mehijo. Thanks for the...
When inflicting dig buffs or control effects.
But I don't know if this is talking about, like, before, because he's trying to draw this distinction before 48.
Then they didn't call themselves Palestinians, called their property. So if you claim to be pro-Palestinian and know the history of the conflict, just give me one name of a Jewish settlement that was established on stolen Arab land before they started a war. Why wasn't any...
I mean, the main complaint isn't going to technically even be Jewish settlements built on stolen Arab land. It's going to be purchasing land and then expelling Arabs from the purchased land. It's going to be the...
independent Palestinian state established between 1948 and 1967. So the Arabs started a war and lost. After the war...
Any news on the Peterson debate? No, I lied about it. I didn't actually do it. I didn't do a Peterson debate. There is no Peterson debate. Please stop asking me about it. Holy fuck, I have no news. They're never going to contact me. I don't know why you would think they would give me a heads up on anything being posted. They'll post it when they post it. I don't know. Just assume it didn't happen and I lied about it. Holy fuck. I do not know. I don't have any connection with that team whatsoever.
The Gaza area was held by the Egyptians, and Judea and Samaria, which came to be
Triggered.
were held by the Jordanians. Why didn't the Arabs, who at this point have started to call themselves Palestinians, establish a state back then? They had a whole 19 years to do just that. In 1967, the Arabs once again threatened to eliminate Israel, and again they lost. This time they lost the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. Only then did the world start to get interested in the Palestinians and their independence. This I find interesting. When the Palestinians were under Arab rule, nobody talked about a Palestinian state in Gaza and the West Bank. And suddenly, after Israel won the war in 1967, the Palestinians became one of the most interesting people on the planet. Staying with Egypt, let's say that everything I said is wrong. I think I'm wrong. Please illuminate me on
It's
this
like,
one. Egypt. Staying with Egypt, let's say that everything I said is wrong. Israel is terrible. The Palestinians are mostly
feel like
civilians
this is
who are
better
suffering
than
under the
Raid.
cruel Israelis and many
Oh, he's going to bring up the Egyptian blockade on the Gaza Strip.
well-meaning people in the West and in the Muslim world want to do all they can to help the poor souls in Gaza. My question is, why is no one mentioning Egypt? Egypt has a border with Gaza Strip. Egypt can simply open the gate and allow Palestinian refugees in. How many people from Gaza did Egypt allow in? Zero. That's strange. Look at the Europeans, Poland, Germany, and many other countries open their doors and their hearts to people from Ukraine. It was a really noble response. What about the Egyptians and the Arab world? Where are they? Egypt is 5 times bigger than Israel, and it has plenty of room to spare. Oh, sorry, did I say 5 times bigger? I meant to say Egypt is 50 times bigger than Israel. Egypt could open its border and all the rich Arab countries would help them, but no one mentions this option. Arabs helping other Arabs? No, that's a crazy idea. Pro-Palestinians are doing the anti-Israel part.
Total land mass, Israel. Total land mass, Egypt. Sinai is pretty fucking big. Jesus. Actually, never mind. I can't even believe I said that. Never mind. All of Egypt is really fucking big. God damn, this is a big ass fucking place. What the fuck happens like southwest of Cairo? I don't know anything about this. Does anything exist here? Wow, Lawson Harrison, thanks for 20 bucks. Desert. I'm sure there are people that live around the Nile, right? Is that what this is?
Don't bother trying to hide.
Sandworms.
trying to hide.
On me. Try to hurt me.
Level up these guys more. It's not gonna make it.
Texas.
Take any more? Guess up. Try. Bestow your weapons upon me.
Egypt is pretty big. Okay, never mind. Israel's just really small. I have to keep that in mind. Israel's a really small place. Jeez.
This is okay.
Guess Egypt's population right now. I'm gonna say. I have no idea. Let's go for order of magnitude. Okay. We're not in the millions. No shot. Too big a country. Too small. Wouldn't make sense historically for Egypt to be that small. 10 million also seems too small. 50 to 100 million seems more in the range, but if a lot of Egypt is uninhabitable, can it really support that many people? I'm gonna guess. Could be like 20 to 50 million. I'm gonna guess. But maybe there are. How many people? The Nile is going south. No, then they're hugely packed towns? No shot. It's got to be under 100. It's got to be over 10. I'm going to say... Fuck. I'm going to say 35 million. No, 40 million. 40 million. I'm going to say 40 million. Fuck it. Let's go with that. Fuck it. That's my guess. 40 million. Let's see. Egypt. Population. It's going to be way more, isn't it? We were within an order of magnitude. 110 million. God damn. What are all these cities along the Nile fucking huge? God damn. Population, density. Egypt. Bruh.
Some extra shit.
Cairo, population. Holy shit. Is this like the whole, do they have like, do metropolitans exist? Or is that like an American term? Metropolitan area. Holy shit.
Perfect.
Destiny, that isn't that big. 10 million people in a city isn't that big? Compared to what? Isn't that like the whole metropolitan area of like fucking LA is like 18.5 million people? Look up Japan metro. You're fucking retarded. That was one of the most retarded you're banned for that. What an absolutely fucking retarded actually. Jesus Christ. Look up the largest metro population in the entire fucking world? You're actually so retarded. Holy shit. My God.
How do you fucking find me? Dungeons, oh. Challenge.
Istanbul has 50 million, and that is the largest city in the European continent.
Upholding the Dragon Queen's laws is my life's only. What's the time? You folks carry on. I'm going back to camp for a break.
In that precious and
really well, but why not actually helping the Palestinians by focusing on Egypt? Genocide. Now this is an easy one. Israel is often accused of committing genocide. If Israel is committing, the Palestinians like to present themselves as the indigenous, dark-skinned people of the land, and we, the Jews, as the white European colonizing power. First of all, I find it funny and pretty pathetic that the Palestinians want and actually get the sympathy of black people in South Africa and black people in the US.
A lot of developing countries have huge metro cities like this, Jakarta or Bangkok. Yeah, I think India has a lot of insane like population areas. This is from 2011. Mumbai, 12 million people. Delhi's 11 million. Who knows what these are at now? 22 million people. God damn. 34 million people. God damn.
Do you know what the Arabs call people with black skin? Which means slaves. It was the European colonial powers who pressured Muslim countries to abolish slavery, and that only happened in the 20th century. If you have never heard about this, it is not your fault. Those who like talking about colonialism don't like to talk about the way in which Arabs historically treated black people as slaves, and they definitely don't like to mention the fact that the main force putting an end to slavery in Arab countries was the European colonial powers. It doesn't fit the narrative, and those who talk about colonial...
I would have to do a whole ass dive into this. I feel like that's probably not true though, but...
prefer narratives to the simple truth. As a tour guide, I can tell you that one of the poorest settlements in Israel is called Jisr al-Zalka. It is an Arab village or town, and a lot of the Arabs who live there are black people who originally came from Sudan and who experienced racism on account of their skin color. And there are many stories like that. Arab society is extremely racist towards black people. In some Arab countries, slavery was still legal 60 years ago. Black Palestinian solidarity is about as smart as Queers for Palestine. By the way, Jews in the US were the biggest supporters of the civil rights movements in the 1960s. Somehow, the BLM movement and the student movement in the US tend to forget that fact, as well as the fact that the Arabs were all in with selling. Frankly, please let me know what you think the Palestinian state would be like and what you are basing your assumptions on. The R word. I can talk a lot about the conflict, and I actually do. This is my life now, and I'm going to keep on doing it because it is important. But there is one very clear way to judge who is on the side of morality and who is not. Women. Look at how each side treats women. The Palestinians have assaulted hundreds of Israeli women, and how many Palestinian women have been subjected to the
I thought it was retarded.
R word by Israeli soldiers? 0. As a feminist, I think that this tells the whole story. If there are tens of thousands of Israeli soldiers fighting the Hamas rapists, Ymar Shmam, in Gaza, not a single Palestinian woman is assaulted, that tells us a great deal about Israeli soldiers. Here, I'm not even going to ask you to prove me wrong, because nothing you can say about it is smarter than what I just said. In Hebrew, there is a saying, tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. I assume that the same phrase exists in many other languages because it is so true. Now, let's have a look at the Israelis. We are accused of colonialism, apartheid, ethnic cleansing, and genocide, and we also have a terrible, heavy accent when we speak English. I mean, we must...
Okay. I'm good. Fuck. What else do we have to do today? What's going on? Overall, how would you judge that guy's arguments? I mean, like, they're okay questions, but they're not, like, I don't think they're super relevant to the conflict, but to be fair, a lot of the crazy unhinged pro-Palestinian people, or a lot of the pro-Palestinian are crazy and unhinged. 3 days ago, this tweet is still up here? What the fuck?
So today's topic: domestic workers abuse.
What the fuck? Who the fuck is this? Hello?
Beast meat and 2 servings.
So today's topic: domestic workers abuse in the Middle East. That is a fact. One of the most shocking cases emerged in 2014 when a Sri Lankan maid returned from Saudi Arabia with 24 nails inside her body. The woman alleged that her Saudi employer had routine tortured her and drove nails into her body as punishment. Earlier this month, King Abdullah pardoned an Indonesian maid who was sent...
Okay, well, hold on. Punished. Well, what did she do? Okay. Zara, thank you for the additional fake money.
Sentenced to death in 2003 after being convicted of witchcraft.
What was she?
Okay, well, what kind of witchcraft are we talking here? Let's get some more details.
What was she doing? Reading Harry Potter? What the fuck was she doing?
I know what happened. her employee was beating her up and then gave her one of these Zeds and we're like, oh, you fucked up.
Oh my god.
This video, which emerged on YouTube in early March, shows the moment Ethiopian migrant worker Alem Dichasa was dragged along the street in Beirut.
Wait, okay, hold up.
Oh, 2 serpents.
Am I incorrect, or does this video look like it's from like 2007? What is the year of this video? Does this look like it's coming from like a modern cell phone or anything in the past?
YouTube in early March shows the moment Ethiopian migrant worker Alem Dichasa was dragged along the street in Beirut.
They probably have shit cameras. I'm gonna be honest, I assumed that for a long time that like Africa and the Middle East and everybody are using like old ass fucking phones. But my understanding is smartphone proliferation around the world is actually unbelievably high. Hold on, let me look this up. Isn't there something like there's over like 1 billion smartphones throughout like Africa, or like 2 billion? I thought, oh god, let me find this out. Hold on. Okay, 670 or 690 million. Okay, it's a lot. All right. Although to be fair, these phones might be kind of shit. In sub-Saharan Africa, the ABBA video is like 5 years old. Wait, is there a source for it? When I was in Egypt a couple years ago, most people were rocking Nokia. Why don't you do prepared content? Because the only thing I want to prepare is to fuck your mom.
Ooh, shit.
Oh, and that's projected even. So it's about 500 million. That's still a lot more. Okay, fuck you.
Whatever.